Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
We have had a bit of a fraught morning this morning. We've had technical problems. We've had.
But that's negative. Let's start with the positive.
Well, no, we're going to explain. We've got over what we've got over.
Yes, we're overcomers.
We have, unfortunately, our guest speaker and our contingency guest speaker are both ill.
Bless them.
Jean and Zoe. Jean was going to be here to talk about the Peace Project. He's got labyrinthitis. So she's not going anywhere, unfortunately. So Jean, please get better soon.
And rest and lie still. Don't move your eyes. Don't move your head.
So
we wish you equilibrium.
And Zoe, who is she's heavily involved in the Peace Project, along with Jean, but Zoe does a lot of other things as well. She was going to be at the meeting this morning, and she's also ill. So
yes, she's working very hard, but we wish you peace.
So we did have a contingency plan, which has also fallen through. So I'm afraid this morning, it's us.
It's us. But do you know what? We've got some good stuff too. And what we're just going to share with you some of the lovely things that we can offer as well. So if you're interested in some of the things that we can offer in our businesses, then this morning we're going to talk about some style analysis and how we can move forward in making yourself look absolutely gorgeous and being authentic. And Jo will talk as well about how she came to build her business as well.
I wasn't planning on that, but okay.
And I just thrown her in because I always like to keep things equal. I always like to promote my friends' businesses.
We'll see what time we've got. But I know that Yvonne has these little workshops that are always ready to go. So
always ready to go.
Always ready to go.
Always ready.
We were planning to do Yvonne's little sort of a taster workshop online a little bit later. So in our series, but we've brought it forward because you've got a couple of little tips and tricks that people can just go home and do themselves, can't they? To sort of figure out what their style might be, or maybe more importantly, what their style is not.
Yes, without giving too much away, because there's a whole lot about styling that actually people don't really understand. And it really takes quite a few years for you to understand who you are as a person. And the lovely thing about styling is that you just don't pick up a magazine and try to replicate the style from the magazine, because how many times have you seen one of your friends or yourself even try and put on a dress or put on an outfit that you wear and you think, oh, I don't feel right, or you know.
I mean, I find whenever I look through the magazines and I see these gorgeous models wearing beautiful clothes, and I know from experience, if I put them on, I would feel wrong, never mind look wrong. I would just be really, really uncomfortable. So I know I can't go with the general whatever's in vogue at the moment, because it usually is just not me.
And I wonder why that is, Jo. Why do you think that is?
Maybe I'm just not mainstream. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bit different.
So do you think
I don't know.
A bit different, a bit quirky, I don't know. So you said 3 things there: a bit different, a bit quirky, I don't know. So that's actually why people come to me to spend time with me, because actually we spend time opening all of that up and searching and looking deeper and digging deeper beyond the surface of the wardrobe. So we go, it's a bit like Narnia, we go beyond the clothes and we go into beyond the cold snow and beyond the Turkish delight and beyond all of that. And we go right to the heart of finding who you are in the Original You Company. We go to the heart of who you are and discover, you know, what makes you you, what makes you tick, what really resonates with the reality of who you are, and build upon that.
So how do you get to know somebody's personality? Because we all have a public face, and then we have a private face. And I take it you try and marry the two so that they're congruent.
Yes, it's got to
how do you find the real face, the personal face?
I have this might sound a bit boastful, and if you know me, you'll know that I'm really not boastful, but I'm realizing that I'm actually very, very intuitive, and I have a vision when I look at people, and I can see actually who they are by looking at their body scale, the texture of their hair, their colour of their skin, the way they hold themselves, their voice tone, the flex in their eyes, the scale of their fingers, their likes, the things that they like, the drives and the passions within them, the choice of the textures that they like, the way that they present their home, the way that they organise themselves, all of these things, the hobbies, the people that they hang out with, all of these things, I spend time with people and build up a complete picture. And so it doesn't just take a complete 10 minutes analysis. It takes me a couple of hours to understand a person. And I go to their environment so that I can assess, and I'm reading signs all over the place. I'm watching the person in their mannerisms, in their body language. I'm listening to the voice tones. I'm listening to the way they answer me. I'm listening to the way they flicker their eyes. I'm listening to the tones of their voice. I'm assessing all the time. And so because I'm intuitive and because I can see with the eyes of my heart, I'm reading all of the time. And I come up with an analysis, and 10 times out of 10 it's right.
Yeah.
Actually. And I love it. And it's all positive.
So say someone can't quite afford your services yet, but they know they need to do something. Do you have a couple of tips just to sort of get them on the way, just to sort of shift their perspective and have to be able to have a proper look and decide, do you know what, I need whether I need to make a change or not? Have you got a couple of little tricks that they can do? What have you got?
I do have lots of tips, but you mentioned there that can't afford my services. My services are actually really inexpensive, and if you think about what I offer for what the amount that I offer, you actually get a whole lot of coaching services and styling services for what I offer. I offer 4 or 5 hours of my time, coaching time, individual service, a style file, your own personalised style file, your wardrobe organised, and your colours assessed, and your individual style personality done, all for £120.
Which is that is a really good deal. And one of the things in the being business thing is that women need to start realising to invest in themselves.
Yeah.
But we also need to have that initial baby step to have the confidence of actually coming to you. So did you not have something that someone can do at home to decide, you know what, I do need some help? Did you not have your coloured material?
Yes, I've got at home. I can come to your home, and I bring to your home some gold and silver fabric and some other fabrics and textures, and I use scarves a whole lot to discover your style personality, along with a questionnaire which helps me understand who you are. And so I do assessment with you, and it's a chemical reaction that I look at using your eyes and your skin tone and your lips and the way that your hair reacts. And I use special fabrics, either silver or gold, and it tells me whether you are warm or cool. And I come to your home and I sit in a light room with you and I can assess colouring, and it's a chemical reaction, and it's all about the amount of carotene, hemoglobin and melatonin in your body, the balance. And so it's an assessment that I do, and I can tell whether you're warm or cool. And years ago, when you went for colour analysis, they used to spend hours and hours of draping lots of colours over you, and that's great, but I've really simplified it and made it accessible to every woman. And it doesn't take long, but it does take a trained eye. And then I unpack how you can best use your colours. And everybody can wear every colour, but you've got to get the right tones for you, the right family of colours for you. And so
everyone's heard of the warm and the cool, because you can get makeup in warm and cool.
Yes.
Most stylists will be able to split it into warm and cool colours. The problem comes when one of these, which is one of the most basic parts of colouring, is I don't know if I am a warm or cool. And I remember, because I was in a group session with Yvonne, we won't mention any names, but I remember there was a very pretty young girl. I say girl because she's a lot younger than me. Most people are these days.
This was a professional setting.
It was all women in business, and this young professional, she had beautiful long blonde hair. I don't know if you remember her, and she was wearing mainly warm makeup and warm colours, if I remember rightly. I mean, she had a lovely crisp white blouse on, and she wasn't, she was dressing for business, but she had her makeup and everything warm. And Yvonne draped these two, there was bigger bits than this, 2 pieces of cloth across her shoulder, the silver and then the gold. And it was so obvious that she was a cool. And she'd been going to a very expensive hairdressers up in Edinburgh every single month or 6 weeks, and spending, sort of £100-200 to get her hair coloured. And the hairdresser was putting the wrong colour dye on her hair. She was having it, I mean, she was a natural blonde, but she was having like highlights.
Warm highlights.
And she was having warm highlights, which completely, and just that simple action of the gold and the silver. And what was it I remember you saying, it's a common mistake that people think blondes are warm.
Yes. And people think, and especially hairdressers, and I love hairdressers, and I've got so much respect for them. I used to actually be a hairdresser, but it's actually really given me a real respect and a real understanding through lots of mistakes in my own hair as well, but trying to find a really good hairdresser that understands colour. And I have now little Nicola Sparkle on Castle Street. But to understand the way that colour works with you, if you understand if you're cool or warm, then you need to get warm highlights or cool highlights. And the amount of ladies that I've got to say to them, I'm sorry, but when you go to the hairdresser next time, can you ask them to do more ash-based highlights? Or warm honey highlights.
The ash blonde.
Yes.
Cool,
and so, it's actually, if you do one thing, if you're blonde or if you're mousy or whatever, then sometimes just a few highlights can actually just really lift. And I know that as we age, as we go through ages and stages in life, we don't want to darken our hair because it draws down the skin and makes us look sallow and things. And it's good to actually add in some highlights or whatever, or lowlights when we change our skin. And again, we've got some other lovely contacts that we can point you in the direction of for this, to balance out your skin tones and things and marry everything in together. But one of the lovely things is to balance out and add in some highlights into your hair, and not to always go for the block colours, but to play around with colour and to use your natural colours so that you're not just creating an actual fake look. Because my whole business is all about helping you understand who you are and making the best you, so that you're not putting on a look, but you're actually being the authentic you.
What do you say to someone that wants a fake colour? I'll clarify that, because I really, really fancy having either a shocking pink or a shocking peacock blue streak through my hair.
A streak would be excellent. I would,
because that is very fake.
Yeah,
honest.
Yeah, but that's because I know your style personality. And can you remember your style personality?
Not my personality, no. Can you remember it?
Yes. Right. Jo has got creativity and dramatic in her, but she actually lives a whole lot in natural, which actually she really shouldn't. She's developing her dramatic and her creative. If you saw her paintings, you would understand that she's a lot more dramatic and creative than what she lives in. But she's more comfortable. You're more comfortable in your natural.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which that's the motorbike, but actually the motorbike's quite dramatic as well.
I suppose so. But I mean, I love the natural woods and stuff.
That's your natural.
By the office.
Yes.
It's that I like them both.
You do, and you're happy in both. But because you're being drawn to having turquoise or shocking pink or shocking
pink or blue.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Well, I would just recommend getting maybe 2 or 3 slices put in somewhere, not all over at all.
Yeah, no, I just wanted one of those things that you don't see it at first, and then there's just this little flash every so often.
So I would recommend that you just maybe lift up a layer on the top, and then maybe get some slices put in underneath, so that you can just go like this, because some people in business can actually be put off by especially classics, because classics, there's 6 style personalities. There's classics, naturals, dramatics, feminines, creatives, and chics. Okay, and we're all completely different.
Okay.
Completely different, but it actually illustrates how we interact with our worlds as well. But it also illustrates who we are as people.
Okay, here's a question then. If you are a certain way, and your business kind of reflects who you are, because I am in a creative industry at the moment anyway. If the way I dressed, etc., the way I colorized myself, was to put a customer off, is that a bad thing? Because we might not be gelling anyway. I mean, if I have a certain way of doing things and I approach things a certain way because of my personality, if I have put off a client because I've got a pink streak in my hair, is that not a good thing potentially?
I don't think that's a good thing.
No?
At all. I think in the world we attract like it's like. And I think, in the world we should be really open to everybody.
But if they're not open to you because of the way you are.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So that's judgment. We all make assessments within 3 seconds.
That's their judgment.
That's their judgment.
Which is their problem, not mine.
Yeah. So they're making an assessment. So within 3 seconds, people's made an assessment about you. And that's why it's really, really important that actually you present your best you immediately, with every situation, how you dress, how you wear your hair, how you speak, your eye contact, absolutely everything matters. Absolutely everything.
But you still need to be true to yourself.
Exactly.
Which means you can't be all to everybody.
But I'm not saying about being all to everybody. I'm saying about be you in every situation, so that you don't have to think about it. And I mentioned this in chatting with a lovely lady at the Chamber of Commerce meeting that we had last week, and that was an excellent meeting. We went
to
Chamber of Commerce last week. That meeting was buzzing.
It was absolutely
buzzing. Thank you,
buzzing.
Lee, for hosting it. We met Andrea, we met lots of lovely, exciting people at that meeting, and I must say that was actually one of the best Chamber of Commerce meetings, network meetings that I was ever at, and I can't wait to the next one. And that was really good. At Ken's coffee shop.
A bit of a detouring subject here. There was a financial coach. There was a chocolatier.
Yeah,
who has been trained by some of the most prestigious worldwide artisans. Who else?
An Arbonne representative, but also
did she not do coaching as well?
Yes,
coaching
business coaching.
Business coaching. There was two young lads who, I do apologise, I've forgotten the company name. Lego Bricks.
Yes, Lego Bricks and Lego designing costumes on Lego.
So they're both brothers. These two young lads. One was only 14, 15, and he got up and he spoke in front of everybody about this business that they'd started, printing on little Lego figures. It's taking off. It's global. Yeah, there was like the whole evening was absolutely buzzing.
It was buzzing. A lovely atmosphere, real friendliness, lots of exciting people there, and I just felt a real community and real business community. And I was really surprised that I didn't see a grey suit anywhere. And Lee really shocked me with his outfit. So he was really funky in his creative business gear, and I thought, good man, good example.
In fact, Lee is one of the guests that we like to invite on one of our morning hangouts. We haven't asked him yet. So if you see this, Lee, we will ask you to come on at some point so you can talk about the chamber and some of the events, because they are getting quite good.
Yeah, it was good. So back to. So we were at the chamber the other night there, and we had a really good time, and we met some lovely, interesting people. So we going to events like that, it really helps you, meeting different people, but it actually really matters when you meet people like that for the first time, because their memory of you will stick.
Yes. My question to you though is that if you've got yourself prepared, you are looking the way you want to look, looking the way it makes you feel good. If that then puts someone off from using you or coming to you, then I take that as a positive, because it means you're then attracting the right people that are drawn to you because you're being who you are. You're not trying to pretend to be somebody else. So what I'm saying is that on the odd occasion, it's actually not a bad idea for someone to say, she's not my cup of tea. Not quite right yet. Nice person, but not quite my cup
I
of
really
tea.
hear what you're saying, and I really, with all utmost respect, I understand that we all come from different places in life, and this is where my counselling comes in, because I'm actually a qualified counsellor. I have been for 26 years, and this is my love of people. I really understand people and understand where they come from, and without judgment and without prejudice at all, give them the space to make judgments and assessments and their choices in life to follow, whatever they want to follow. And so if they come to me because they're drawn to me or drawn to a business, then that's great. If they don't want to work with me because I maybe don't click with them, or they don't click with me, then that's okay. But in life, I've come to realize that if you are authentic, then that's all that you've got to offer to the world. And that's not all you've got to offer to the world. That's a gift that you've got to offer to the world. And it also
attracts the right people into your life.
And women, I'd really like to encourage you today, you have got a gift to offer the world. What you've got inside you is a gift to the world, and you must not compromise it, and you must not pat it down, and you must not box it in, because what has been placed inside you has got consequences, not just for you, but for other people around you. And if you keep it boxed in and packaged up and nice and neat and live as a classic when actually you're dramatic, then you're compromising. And I'd really like you to encourage you, if you're a creative, to live in colour. If you're a classic, to live with the best quality suits. If you are a natural, to get some gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous natural fabrics on you. But, just to understand who you are. And, even in the way that you talk, I am a dramatic and a creative. You can probably guess that. But it's taken me years to understand that it's actually okay to be quite wild. I've straightened my hair, but actually, I can do really wild and punky. Jo is creative and dramatic.
I would love to see you as punky. You would suit punky,
I used to be a punk.
You would really suit that. I'd love to see you with blondie hair, you know, Debbie Harry hair or
I did
something.
I used to do Debbie Harry, Spania, Cher. That's how I used to dress, actually, in the little black dresses and the little chains everywhere and the high, long black boots. My friends would tell you how I used to dress, and one of my first hairstyles when I worked in the hairdressers was like shaved round here with dyed dark blonde. This is dark blonde, actually. This is my natural dark blonde. And then it was all bleached round here, and it was up here like a cockatoo. And then I had long red highlights here and bright red lipstick. It was
that's cool.
Yeah, it was so funky. Cool. And then the long black boots and the little black dresses and the leather, and I was really funky. But that was in my younger years. That was dramatic. And funky. But then I went into a creative stage when I was a yummy mummy, when my kids were young. You know, it was just practical, so there was lots of colours, lots of textures and layering.
There's a question. Okay. We do change as we go through different experiences, but does our core personality change?
No.
So if we are a dramatic, we will always be a dramatic.
Yes. And this is the lovely thing. And this is one of the secrets that actually ladies I like to communicate as well. And I'm just sharing you personal stuff here because I think that sometimes that's a nice way to communicate and help you relate. Not that I like talking about myself, it's just like I'm learning to talk about myself just to relate because it's okay. And so going through life, you learn that actually there's stages. And you have stages of life that you go through. So I mentioned earlier my teenage, young adult life. And then I went into mummydom, which is being mummy and a young mummy. And up until my kids are now becoming 13 up to 30. So I've had a long time. I've been a mummy for 30 years. So that's a long time. But then, you know, I'm now in a stage where I'm coming back out of the, you know, mummydom, and I can actually rediscover who I am. So I'm now playing around with my style personalities, which are dramatic and creative, and I'm actually drawing in a little bit of chic again.
So you can combine
play around. You can use your different style personalities for different events and different circumstances in your life. So, for example, I use my dramatic when I'm going out to party. I use my creative when I'm going to creative business. And I use my chic when I'm going to formal business.
Okay?
Yeah. So it really helps you understand who you are and how to appropriate your style personality.
Oh, there you go. Just excuse me 2 seconds because my computer has pinged at me.
We like pings. We like to dance, we like to sing, we like to ping.
Cool.
So this is my brochure. It's, excuse the ladies on the front, I'm just in the process of rebranding because I don't just do styling in wardrobes, I do styling for homes as well, homes and businesses. I've actually worked a whole lot with hotels and businesses. I've worked with the Sheraton, I've worked with the Smiths in Gretna, I've worked with Jackie's Beauty Salon, I've worked with other businesses, I've worked with People First, Women First, and lots of other, I've worked with Minerva, training lots of their staff, their shop front staff and their hospitality staff, training them in their customer service and how to be their best and looking at their colours and how to communicate with their uniforms.
Oh, got a question.
Okay.
When a company has a uniform, that same look is, everyone has to wear it.
Yes.
So how does everyone look as good as everyone else when they're all different? Is there a way of managing that?
Yes, it is. Because I then help them understand their style personalities within that. So they get their core personalities and then I help them dress their uniforms.
So they have the basic uniform, and
They have the basic uniform.
They are allowed to add things, and they are.
It depends on the it depends on the company guidelines. So I understand the company guidelines, and then I help them to understand how they can tweak. Now, it might be about little grooming tips. It might be about shoes. It might be about the way they wear their hair. It might be about the size of their jewellery, because again, when I'm working with people, it's all about scale, proportion, texture, you know, how they wear their hair. They can maybe wear their hair up, they can maybe funk it up. You know, again, it's all about what kind of business it is, where they're going, you know, if they're on shop front, if they're on the front of a hotel, whatever. It's all about first impressions. If they're in a restaurant, they've got to have health and hygiene, you know, everything's got to be appropriate. They might not be allowed to wear nail varnish. So all of these things, if they're allowed to wear jewellery, you know, all these things, if they're on shop front, or, you know, a big ring or whatever might be a statement to add. There's lots of different ways that you can add your personality into uniforms.
Okay.
Lots of different ways. But I had the real privilege of working with these top hotels and top places, and work with hundreds of, you know, lovely people, just to encourage them to be their unique selves within their workplace. And I love the places that I've worked, and it's been valuable for me to understand, because everybody within these corporate businesses are unique as well. But my passion is to build strong businesses, strong people within these businesses, because they're all on a journey themselves. The companies will benefit, but these people will benefit from the tools that I give them within the training sessions, because they'll take them on to other avenues in their life as well. So I don't just give them tips for the workplace, I give them tips for their home, and for their wardrobes at home, and for their recreational lives. So it's really quite exciting, and it's really interesting to see people come to life. Another tool that I use is one thing that I'm really passionate about, and I love lipsticks.
She keeps trying to get me to wear lipstick.
And I must admit, I did get some gloss on, Joe, before we came on air. I did have a fight. We did have a fight, didn't we?
Yes, you won.
Did. And it's a little bit, not a colour, but it's a little bit of gloss that we put on her earlier, just to make her lips shine. Anyway, one of my passions is lipstick. It really is, because this to me is my power tool. Give me a staple gun, and I'm learning to use a power drill because I am. But give me a staple gun, and give me a lipstick, and give me a pair of scissors, and that's me set. But honestly, and a paintbrush, and do you know what? These are the things that a woman needs to create.
Okay. So here's a question for you, because one of the things that annoys me about wearing lipstick is that you have to keep reapplying. And I'm sorry, but I can't be bothered with it. So what's your tip for that?
Okay, there's lots of different lipsticks out there, and I am a lipaholic. I am a lipaholic, a lipstickaholic. But that's okay. But I put it down to my service to humanity.
But how is there any way to get over?
Yeah, and
not reapplying.
Well, so I'm leading up to saying that I've sampled so many different lipsticks. That's my justification for having so many lipsticks.
Samples. It's research, darling.
It is research. But people do send me lipsticks, and feel free to send me lipsticks. And thank you, friends, for sending me lipsticks. I love you, Julie and Juan, and love you all. But I have sampled lots of them, and the best ones that I have found are the ones that actually do put a stain in your lip. And one of the tips that I've got for you, you don't actually need to spend a whole lot on lipsticks. I do actually really like inexpensive lipsticks.
I like inexpensive most things, as long as they work.
Yeah, but again, it's all to do with your values, and you know, whether you want to go for the eco ranges, or whether you want to go for, whether you're bothered by, having parabens and things and, different components
I've
within it.
discovered very recently that anything paraffin based really makes my lips dry. So I've switched to a non-paraffin based lip balm. And it's made a huge effect.
Okay.
A lot nicer.
So yeah, it does. It's all to do with your the chemical balance in your body, and so it's worth sampling. And again, I've got lots of lipsticks that we can sample and try on different types on you. And again, when you come to me, we'll look at the different textures, and I'll be able to tell what's going to stay on you and what's good for you, because not every lady suits a matte lipstick, and not every lady suits a gloss lipstick. And definitely not every lady suits a pearlized lipstick.
Yeah.
And so, not every woman can wear every lipstick. And so it's a science. I'm sorry, but I'm a scientist with lipstick.
She does know her lipstick.
I do.
Right.
And
I will wear, is it Lipfinity, which is kind of a stain that you put on first.
Yeah.
If I'm going out of an evening, I'll put that on. But during the day, I just feel too self-conscious to wear it during the day. It's kind of an evening out affair.
That's your natural kicking in. No, lipstick is not just for an evening. I have walking the dog colours, and if you've been in my workshops before, you'll have heard me talking about when I get you to show me your lipsticks. I get the ladies to bring out the lipsticks from the handbags and show me them, and I'll say, I'm sorry, darling, but that's a walking in the dog lipstick or a walking in the forest lipstick. And then I show you what I recommend for your real lipstick, because your lipstick should actually balance up with your eyes. And it should have the intention and the intensity of the depth of your eyes. It really should, and it should make it look like it's just you, not make you fade away, because who wants to fade away? You're in this world to shine. Not fade away. Yes?
I think I must be a work in progress, because I just don't, it's just, can't bring myself.
It's practice. And again, lots of us, need to practice. And I haven't always been, confident. I haven't.
No, it's not about confidence. I'll put it on in the morning and I go, nah, get it off.
Is it about comfort?
Some of it, comfort, practicality, and...
But there are a lot of these lipsticks that stain first and then you gloss after. And a lot of it is drinking water as well, just to keep replenishing, because you've got to be, or apply Vaseline on top of a lip stain. If you're more comfortable with that, put the lip stain on in the morning and then just keep applying your Vaseline.
Like I said, I'll wear the lip stain in an evening, but going to work.
We'll try a natural lip stain, because actually, top tip, ladies, if you wear your lipstick, you will be understood and heard a whole lot more. If I was to put a lipstick on Jo, her lips would come to life, and you would be drawn to her words a whole lot more, and her eyes would light up.
Now, I would have to question that, because guys don't need that.
Guys don't need that.
So if guys don't need that, why do I need that?
Okay. It's all about your lady tools. And it's accepting you as a woman, accepting yourself as a woman.
Yeah, see, I had a longish career. I worked with the council for a good few years, and then I worked with ICI Stroke to Pump for a good few years, both of which was very male dominated.
Mm-hmm.
And I found I got far more respect by cutting down on the whole frivolous side, and they would actually listen to what I had to say, than the girls that would come in with the pencil skirts and the lipstick. They were good for making tea. I was good for making decisions. And so there's very much, and it's even now I have an aversion to wearing skirts. That's for when you have a frivolous night out. You wear a nice skirt or a nice dress for your husband, type of thing.
That's typecasting.
It may be, but for me to be taken seriously, I feel that I cannot have any frivolous entrapments that's around me, because I find it distracting to what I have to say. That's always been the reaction I've had from guys, that they take me more seriously when I don't have the fancy handbag and I don't have the lipstick and I don't have the skirt on. They will take me more serious. That's the experience I've had over the last 20, 30 years. That you're telling me that your experience has been the opposite.
And in business, I dress for myself. I don't dress for anybody else. Back to the 3-second thing. I dress for me every day. I dress for how I feel every day, so that I don't have to think about it. I dress because I'm going somewhere, and I dress to put a colour on.
I think that's really important, that you dress for yourself, not for other people.
No.
So if I was to put lipstick on, I would feel I was doing that for someone else, not for me.
Okay. So, dressing for yourself, so that you can forget about yourself.
Yes, that is it, exactly. And that's what I always go for these days.
Dress for yourself so you can forget about yourself. Organise your wardrobe so you can forget about your wardrobe. You get up in the morning, you forget about it. You get organised and forget about it. And that's like
time
saving your life.
Yes, it's like time saving. And you don't have to think, oh God,
no,
I've got nothing to wear with a wardrobe stuffed full of stuff.
But can I just draw your attention back to maybe just to think a wee bit more about the frivolous dresses? Like I got the impression there that you were maybe thinking that dresses are frivolous. Some dresses are frivolous, and that's the feminine romantics. And so, again, sometimes we've worn dresses that just are not right for us. And the way that we wear dresses and skirts are just typecasting, and it's like the frou-frou women. I'm not a frou-frou woman. You're not a frou-frou woman. But there's some really strong women out there that are really strong and project themselves and can still show that they can get the job done, and their whole demeanour speaks about strength and capability and courage. And I know there's a lot of women out there that are courageous and capable.
I really just haven't found the right dress.
Well, you need me to come shopping with you. Maybe I need to look through your wardrobe again. In fact, we've got a date, haven't we?
Yes.
Because you're heading to the States.
I'm heading for the States. It's actually been put back. It's not October now, it's February. Not my choice, their choice.
Okay.
But heading to the States in February.
So that's a seasonal change, so we'll work on the wardrobe. But I just I worked
in California though, so
it's fine. I've got friends in California.
Is it warm that time of year?
I'll find out. Okay. My good friend Nicola Hill, who's an excellent artist. If you look at her work, she is absolutely amazing. Nicola Hill, phenomenal artist. By her work, she is amazing. She's in Canada and she is doing amazing artwork. So anyway, I did a styling with a beautiful lady recently, and one of her role models that she was fascinated with, it was actually her husband that was fascinated with Lara Croft.
Can we mention her name? Because she did put publicly on Facebook that she'd used you. So
she did. It's the lovely Lily Croft Lawson. She is an amazing woman.
She is, and she's absolutely beautiful.
She's
just had a gorgeous little girl who's how old is?
I think she's 1.5 now.
Right.
Should be about.
Yeah, just over the year.
Yeah, just over the
beautiful.
year.
Obviously takes her looks after her mum. But yeah, she put on Facebook an absolutely gorgeous post about you, in that she was amazed at how quickly she gained confidence from the whole consultation. Felt that she could now go into her wardrobe, throw something on, and feel wonderful.
But
that was her review of your service. She was amazed. She loved it.
But she is amazing. She is amazing. I've actually been using Gina for another big job because Gina is a seamstress, a top quality seamstress.
Very good, yes.
Top quality. I've actually been working in a big estate, big castle, and I've hired Gina in to do some of the top quality curtains and things, and she has done an amazing job. So if you need a top quality seamstress, then Gina is
Curtains,
your lady.
Soft furnishings.
Soft furnishings.
She designs the most
lampshades.
gorgeous lampshades.
Yeah.
We saw some of them in the gallery at the Harbour Cottage in Kirkcudbright, and
she's a perfectionist.
Painstakingly puts all the little jewels by hand on. Oh, just gorgeous
Perfectionist.
stuff. So if you need any soft furnishings, look out for
Gina Lillicrop Lawson.
Yes.
Amazing girl. So one of her husband's
I was going to say role model.
Ideals, just like little, like, how would you describe it? Not fantasies, because he doesn't need a fantasy, because he's got Gina, because he like wished it and she appeared. She's just so like it. But when we were doing her styling, I had no idea, but she actually turned out to one of the styling personalities that she came out with was natural, and she looks like
Lara Croft.
Lara Croft.
She does.
And some of the things that I put on her, she looks amazing. And one of some of the things that I recommended for her were like the khaki and the black leather and things. It sounds kind of funny, but she's so quirky, she can get away with it because she's got natural in her. But, you know, she just looks amazing and strong and capable, and she can run about like a yummy mummy and on the farm, and, you know, she's just so alive. And she is a go-getter, like Lara Croft. But she's a strong woman, and she's come through so much, and that's projected, and that's all rolled up into who she is now. And so I'd like to remind you of that, of Lara Croft, and that's why I'm saying all of that, because I'd like to remind you of Lara Croft. She's a go-getter. Look at her lipstick. Don't tell me Lara Croft doesn't have lipstick on.
She does.
She does. And what kind of colour is it?
I can't remember.
It's a natural.
Is it?
But it is a it's actually like the lipstick that I put on you earlier. It's just the same. It's just a plumper. It's just a plumper.
Yeah, I can feel my lips tingling.
It's just a plumper.
I don't need fuller lips though.
Well, actually, you've got Angelina Jolie lips. You have. And actually, this type of thing would be excellent. It's just a plumper with a bit of colour on it.
Okay.
A natural colour. See, that's all that you would need, is just something like that, and get your eyebrows defined and lashings of mascara. And you're good to go. You've got your natural, strong beauty.
Okay.
You really have. And then
Watch
you're still natural.
Maybe one coffee break morning you'll see me looking a little bit different, in which case you know Yvonne's actually got her hands on it.
So that's just little tweaks, Jo.
Okay.
I think our time's up.
Our time is up. I want your pricing. It was 120.
120, and that incorporates
4 hours.
Yeah, it's about 4 hours that it takes me, and that's me coming to your home, spending time with you, looking at who you are. And if you do go onto the website or find a brochure or anything like this, what I've actually done is there are different modules on here. That this is a previous brochure that I've used, but what I've actually found works better, rolled everything into one, and what I've done is I actually give you a lot of this in one session, because I found that I like to simplify everything, and I like to customize the package for the individual. So rather than you having to think, oh, I'll have this now and I'll have this later, I find that I like to just think, okay, who are you and what are your needs, and you can tell me what you need, and then I'll listen to that, and we can work out.
I'm laughing because there was this stud on the roof, which is actually the apple tree over the office, which every so often drops an apple on my roof and
apple
rolls down. Sorry.
Oh, that's nice. That's lunch.
And if you want to find out more about how effective Yvonne is, go and talk to Gina, the lovely Gina, because she was absolutely amazing.
Or any of my other
yeah, I just know that Gina didn't mind because she'd already posted it on Facebook. But we're kind of leading on to the next phase of being business here, or at least I'm trying to anyway. In that Yvonne's got loads of little workshops that she does with groups, and we are hoping over the coming months to start pulling some of these workshops into a membership sort of setup for being business. So over the coming months, we are planning to offer some services, which then leads me, as a bit of a link, leads me to the next part, that in September, we are hoping to have our first live networking.
We are. We'll get you ladies together.
Which was,
what
date was it? The 24th?
September. Business with being business, and we had put
17th
in the 17th 7 o'clock.
So we will very shortly get all the details out, but if you
in Dumfries,
if you fancy joining us live and having a bit of a networking event, we do want to make it a bit of fun plus a bit informative. So we're hoping to have little bits.
That's another apple.
Little bits and pieces on each of our physical networking evenings. We're going to be calling them Mingles Night. I won't talk about too much of the details. We're still tying down the details, but we've got the date, 17th of September. We've got a couple of people in our heads to tie down for the guest speakers.
Very exciting.
But over the next few months, we're hoping to have different themes, so that you can get something positive that you can take back to either your wardrobe, your business, your family, perhaps. All about supporting women in business, but women in general too.
For your life.
So
because you matter.
Please get in contact if you haven't already registered your interest with us, and we will be sending out the invites to September the 17th very, very shortly. Should be out in the next week or two.
Yes. So ladies, it's been great to have time with you today, and I hope you have a great rest of Wednesday. So go and be the best you that you can be today. Please go and find a nice lipstick to brighten up your face and be that sparkle in your world. But yes, but if you can't find a lipstick, widen your smile and lift your heart, and just go and enjoy yourselves. Remember who you are and enjoy.
Right, we'll see you next month.
We will.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for your time.